Hello, hello. I'm Dr. Isabelle Amigues and I'm from Unabridged MD. As always, it's a pleasure to know that you are listening once again this week. Thank you again for all the comments. And there's a lot of comments outside of your YouTube channel. Please don't hesitate to put them on the YouTube. My goal is for us to have a discussion with all of the different modalities that everyone is using. I think that knowledge is power and sharing is caring. And today I'd like to discuss the power of positive thought. And I may actually take this in a different way that you may think. The first thing is that I don't think that we should tell people to have positive thoughts. So we do not know how everyone is feeling when it comes to their own condition. So it's really hard, for example, for me to tell a patient that has severe pain from inflammation of the joints and tell them, yeah, just have power thought, like positive thought, positive thought. I can tell them, start visualizing that you're feeling good, start imagining how does that feel. But that's not the same thing than positive thought. I would say that it is important to see life the way it is. And why am I saying this? Because the only present that you have is the present. You do not know what the future is made of, and the past is already past. You can't wish it away, and you cannot, you cannot do anything about the past. It's already gone. And so in the present, for me, like what's important is to be grounded and to realize what's there, what you have. For example, right now, I am so grateful that I get to share some of the principles that have helped me during my own journey, and that I'm hoping that they help my patients and that they help some of you as well. And that is a present. That to me it's positive because this is a thought that I'm having right now. But positive thought, just for positive thought, is super hard. If someone is afraid that they might stay crippled for the rest of their life, or that they are seeing themselves get worse and worse, that they are saying that the medications are not necessarily working, that they have a cancer, that they have a neurodegenerative, like some neurological changes that are, potentially fatal. This is hard. Like, I don't think the society should tell us how we should feel and how we should think. So that is not what I'm recommending. In fact, I was looking at studies to discuss this, and there is a lot about the pressure, the social pressure that comes with telling a patient that has a chronic condition you should have positive thoughts. So I'm not going to recommend a positive thought. I'm going to say be in the present, be in the moment. When you're seeing your grandkids, when you're seeing your kids, when you're seeing friends, be in that present. For me, being a present, sometimes it's just being in nature and just looking around. But sometimes it's also just doing people watching. I love people watching, especially in Paris, and just looking. And as one of my mentors says, beauty is a gift to the other people. We didn't have to be beautiful. And when we're beautiful, it's really a lot for other people to have pleasure when they're looking at us. And so I appreciate the beauty in all things because it makes the present better and beautiful and joyful. But when it comes to thoughts, I think that I really recommend you watch the fear episode, because how do you deal with fear is very important. You can, again, not wish away a fear, and you cannot wish away that you do not have positive thoughts. And I think that it's much kinder to yourself and much more efficient to actually say, hey, right now I don't have positive thoughts. That's okay. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to write in a journal what's happening, why am I afraid, and so on. But at the same time, I'm also going to be in the present, and what, maybe it's a gratitude journal, and you say, what am I grateful for right now? It can be just being grateful for the computer that's in front of us, or for the phones, or for the fact that with our phones and our computer, we've been able to communicate with so many people from all over the world. Maybe be grateful for the sky that's blue and beautiful with all the clouds in there. Sort of becoming more curious about what's going on in your life at that moment. That is, to me, a lot more powerful than positive thoughts. And it's very interesting because recently I was mentioning this question is the power, like the positive thought that someone had asked me about positive thought on the podcast and the YouTube channel. And my friend and I was like, I don't think I've ever done this. And he was like, no, you have. I remember we were climbing and it was after chemo and you were sitting and you were just like saying how much you enjoy the rock. I don't think this was positive thought. I think it was just being grounded in the present because I knew that the present was real. I didn't know what the future had for me and I couldn't change the past. And the past was not great for me then, right? I mean, at least the past that was close because I was really, really sad before I had the cancer. And so, the more I thought about it and the more I was like, no, that was not positive thought. It's just that I was in the present and I was grateful for what I had. And for me, that is very important. And I think that there is a lot more to gain from being present and looking at things the way they are, meaning that, at that moment, so I'm going to take an example. At that moment, I'm taking chemo. While I'm taking chemo, but my body is fine. I'm being cared for by the nurses. I have chemo. That is at that moment something that I can be grateful for because there is a possibility, right, of full treatment. And that means that, at that time there is treatment for me. And so on. And I think looking at everything with those eyes, just of the curiosity, right? Like, that's really powerful. In fact, I'm not a pediatrician. I could not have been a pediatrician because I think that kids should never be in a hospital. But the way we train, at least in France, when I was a medical student, is that you train in pediatric service and you're in the hospital. That's how you train for pediatrics. And that kind of turned me down because I was like, I don't want to see any kids in the hospital. The truth is that 99% of kids are not in the hospital. And even if they are in the hospital, they do very well. But at that time, I did not have the ability to realize that. But it's very interesting to see a pediatric patient go for treatment or so on. They are in the present. They do not think like, for example, they do not think, oh my gosh, I'm in the hospital, this means it's bad. They're just in that moment. So it's wonderful to be a medical student in the pediatrics unit because you're playing with the kids and that's your job. You're supposed to play with the kids. So you're like playing with an 8-month-old or a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old. In your mind, you're like, oh, why are they here? But for them, you're here and you're playing with them and that is all that matters. And I think we can learn from that. Learn from the fact that your job is to be present. Your job is to feel good only because you want to feel good, not because someone else is telling you, oh, you should have positive thoughts. So the studies on positive thought, I will tell you, there's a lot of social pressure and I do not know that the positive thinking, if you do not believe it, are going to do anything good for you. Gratitude journal definitely are associated with improved outcome in general because and that's probably the mechanism. They help you go from the adrenergic system, the stress, to the parasympathetic system, which is healing, right? Which helps the healing. So you can just be, well, it is what it is, but right now I'm gonna be grateful for what I have right now. And just tell all of the people who are telling you you should have positive thoughts, you should have positive thoughts, just tell them, I'm going to do it my way and I need you to support me. And if you want me to have positive thoughts, I need you to love me and to show me that you love me. And it has to come from the heart. Don't tell me what I should or should not think because You cannot wish the fear away. That's just not going to happen. And so I'm just going to deal with the present as it comes and with everything as they come. All right, this is the end of this discussion. I hope you got a little bit of information from it. As usual, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this with someone that you feel will benefit from this discussion. Again, I'm hoping interactive, and I really hope I can make it more interactive by getting some guests, and I have guests that are coming. It's a pleasure, as always, to be here for you, and I will see you next time. Take good care. Bye-bye.